Shalom, shalom, Israel. Today is another one of them days, another one of them lessons. Well, first and foremost, tonight we're your teachers. I'm Darash, and this is my brother Amon. And like we always do on Wednesdays, we're going to give y'all this information. We're going to give y'all this history, world history. Tonight, we're going to be talking about something that everybody and their mama going to be celebrating tomorrow. Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. Now, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, as an individual, you have to do your own research. You know, a lot of our people follow these customs because we've done it for so long. This is what we do. Grandparents did it. Great-grandparents did it. Parents did it. We were raised up in it. And we use that ignorance as a reason to continue on perpetuating lies, perpetuating destructive behavior, perpetuating even traditions that, one, is not ours, two, that is fabricated, and three, that demeans us and even is a slap and a spit in the face. Thanksgiving being one of them. So the first thing I want to get into, let's hop into the scriptures. This is definitely one of our go-tos as it pertains to talking about these so-called holidays that the world has given us. I want to go to Colossians first. Let's go to Colossians chapter 2. So, Thanksgiving, according to the world, Thanksgiving is a day, or according to America, Thanksgiving is a day where the Pilgrims taught these white people how to survive in America. It was a brutal winter. They helped them get through it. And they had a huge party or gathering, right? There's nothing further from the truth. As we see in America, we have a history of contorting history. So the first thing I want to get, let's read that. Colossians chapter 2 and verse 8.
Verse 8. Beware, lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
So first it says, pay attention, beware, be cautious, be weary. It says, else someone spoils you or overtakes you or fools you with their philosophies, with what they think. It says in their vain deceit. So they're coming to deceive you with teachings, traditions that are referred to as vain. They're worthless. They're empty. They mean nothing. It says, so be on the lookout. Pay attention. Be wary of that, right? Read.
After the traditions of men.
These are traditions of men. Read.
After the rudiments of the world.
Again, the traditions of the world, the foundations of the world. It came straight out of the world, right? Read.
And not after Christ.
It ain't got nothing to do with these scriptures. People act like, oh, it's a day for us to be thankful. We're thankful to we're thankful to God. You know, we're giving thanks because we're able to come together. We're giving thanks for a family. We're giving thanks for this bountiful dinner, which majority of the food, or the biggest portion of the food, which is supposed to be the turkey, but ends up actually being the ham, is something that we're not even supposed to be eating. But we're giving thanks to God for all of these things. But it ain't got nothing to do with the Most High. It ain't got nothing to do with Christ. But that's what they sell it as, right? So it says, beware lest anybody fool you through their own philosophies, their own thought processes, which come from the traditions of the world. Again, Thanksgiving being one of those things. Let's go to Amos. I want to go to Amos chapter 5. So I think this lesson won't be too long. It's pretty straightforward. Majority, at least of Israel, for sure knows, why we don't celebrate this. But this is for those that don't really, even know the history of Thanksgiving. Most people are like, well, we just do it because it's our tradition. We just do it because this is what we've been doing. We just do it because we doing it for the kids, or doing it because we can just come together as a family. It's like, yeah, but that don't make it okay. And we're gonna get into why. So read that, Amos 5:21.
Amos chapter 5 and verse 21. I despise your feast days.
Read.
And I will not smell in your solemn assembly.
So first things first. In this particular time, Israel was being wicked as hell, and we were trying to keep our feast days. And the Most High said, y'all coming together in a solemn, a righteous assembly for a righteous, a holy day. He said, I don't want to hear that. Y'all coming together supposedly in my name, but y'all wicked as hell. Hell no, I hate that. He said, I hate that. I despise your feast days. He said, and I won't smell of your solemn assemblies. All of your sacrifices and everything that you try to send up to me, I don't want to smell. I'm cool on it. Right, read.
Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
So I'm not accepting none of that. Right? Now, we look at Thanksgiving. Literally, that's one of the pillars of it. You come together, you hold hands, you pray and talk about what you're thankful for. You're thankful for family. You're thankful for friends. You're thankful for this food. You're thankful for your relationship. You go on this long list, just giving thanks, right? And Most High is like, you can't be talking to me. Ain't no way you talking to me, because I ain't with this. I'm cool on this. This ain't got nothing to do with me. This ain't even got nothing to do with righteousness. Even though y'all trying to paint it as such. This ain't cool. He said, I despise your feast days. He said, your sacrifice you try to give it, the food that you're quote unquote offering up to me, I'm good on all of that. It's filthy. And you filthy for trying to keep these days. Our holy days, you filthy for trying to keep them days and being as wicked as y'all was thinking I was going to accept that. And in today's time, you wicked as hell for trying to keep these secular holidays. Again, let's go to I want Isaiah 5. Isaiah chapter 5. Because this is what it is. A lot of people who don't really understand the history of Thanksgiving, they're like, well, we do it for a good cause. We do it for a good reason, or whatever the case is. That's what it meant before, but that's not what it means now. That's not how we celebrate. That's not how we feel about it. Most High don't care about that. Let's see what he says. Isaiah chapter 5 and verse 20.
Isaiah 5 and 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil.
So he said, woe, destruction. For those people that are sitting up there trying to make something that's evil, it's something good. The history behind Thanksgiving is utterly disturbing, disgusting, detestable. But we come together today. Well, that's not why we celebrate it. We celebrate it for something different. As if it makes a difference. Most High said, you can't do that. He said, and for those that do that, shame on you. Destruction is going to come on you for trying to paint it as something that it's not. You can't make something founded on murder, bloodshed, raping, pillaging, and then turn it into something saying, oh, we're just thankful. That's why we celebrate it. We're thankful. That's not what it was founded on. You can't do that, right? So let's go to actually take me to the PowerPoint, Angel. Or excuse me, take me to the screen, the computer screen. Let me duplicate it. Okay. So what we have here is an article from the Manataka American Indian Council, and it goes into the history of Thanksgiving. So, Amon, can you see that? Yeah. Okay. We're gonna start from the top. Go ahead.
From the website on the article. Most of us associate the holiday with happy pilgrims and Indians sitting down to a big feast. And that did happen once. The story began in 1614 when a band of English explorers sailed home to England with a ship full of Patuxent Indians bound for slavery.
Read.
They left behind smallpox, which virtually wiped out those who had escaped. By the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patuxent Indian, a man named Squanto, who had survived slavery in England and knew their language.
Read.
He taught them to grow corn and to fish, and negotiated a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag nation. At the end of their first year, the Pilgrims held a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoags. But as word spread in England about the paradise to be found in the New World, religious zealots called Puritans began arriving by boatload. Finding no fences around the land, they considered it to be in the public domain. Joined by other British settlers, they seized the land, capturing strong young natives for slaves and killing the rest. By the Pequot Nation, had not agreed to the peace treaty Squanto had negotiated, and they fought back. The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought.
So we see that first and foremost, the only reason that these bastards had some regard for the Native Americans was because one particular Native American saved their behinds, saved them from dying. He taught them to fish, taught them to survive essentially on the land. Because originally all of the people that they had were slaves. They had them bound for slavery. They left them with smallpox. Read what happened? Yeah. So actually, let's continue. What are we at? In 1637?
Yeah.
Read that.
In 1637, near present-day Groton, Connecticut, over 700 men, women, and children of the Pequot tribe had gathered for their annual Green Corn Festival, which is our Thanksgiving celebration. In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by English and Dutch mercenaries who ordered them to come outside.
So this is nothing new. There's this book called The Devastation of the Indies. And when you read the history of it, it's pretty much this times 100, and it happened over and over and over and over. There's nothing new. But we were minding our business, having a celebration, and what ended up happening was these invaders decided that they were pretty much going to come in and seize us. And so what they ended up doing was, it says that they ordered our men. Excuse me, where is it? Yeah, they ordered our the families, rather, that's what it was. They ordered the families to come out of their homes, right? And let's see what happens. It says those who came out, read.
Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while the terrified women and children who huddled inside the longhouse were burned alive.
For no other reason than minding their own damn business. No other reason than that. Read on.
The next day, the governor of Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving because 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered.
Read.
Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked village after village.
So on top of the fact that these devils were going out and pretty much, what is it called, massacring our people, we had, like we always do, some damn sellouts who decided, hey, let's help them. Whether it be for their own personal gain, whether it be because they were worried that they were going to get killed, whatever the case is, there's always someone in the midst of our own people that said, well, hell, let's join with them. We're going out killing them, cool, it'll make our tribe stand out, you know, or they'll have more of a reason to, you know, keep us around. We'll earn favor in their eyes. Right? It says, so on top of the fact that they just slayed over 700 people in one night, they then went around, following that and started attacking various Native American villages, right? Read on. It says women and children over 14.
Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery while the rest were murdered. Boats loaded with as many as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England.
It said regularly left the ports. So that's when we talk about, you know, even when we talk about scriptures. I ain't no damn Mexicans, them Native Americans, they ain't Israel, they ain't never been on slave ship. Yes, they have. As a nation, yes, they have. It said, I want to read that again.
Boats loaded with as many as 500 slaves regularly.
With as many as 500 slaves. How often?
Regularly,
read.
Left the ports of New England.
So regularly, not, it happened once or twice. It was like daily. It was like weekly. This was always happening. So thousands, so think about it, even if it was just 500 every week. Let's say weekly is regularly. Every week or every other week, right? 500 times 50. So that's 550 weeks, right? No, 52 weeks in a year, right? I think it's 52. But let's make it simple. 500 times 4, because there's 4 weeks in a month. That's 2,000. 2,000 times 12. That's 24,000. 24,000 in 1 year. That's been taken to England as slaves. That's only 1 year. You think they only did this for a year? Because to be honest, this is only in the 1600s. They were enslaving Native Americans. They were beating them and raping them and pillaging them for their gold before they were even Native American tribes. When they were Mayans and Incans and Aztecs. Before they were even separated into tribes 200-300 years prior to that. Where thousands upon tens of thousands were already being murdered, worked literally to death, and enslaved. So when you hear about, oh, these Native Americans, these Mexicans, these Indians, they ain't Israel, they don't go through the curses, you don't know your history. You clearly don't know your history. So it said, boats loaded with as many as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England. Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible. This is what they did. This is all the history surrounding Thanksgiving. What we call Thanksgiving. Right? Read on.
Following an especially successful raid against the Pequot in what is now Stamford, Connecticut, The churches announced a second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate victory over the heathen savages.
We are the heathen savages. Our people. You guys came here, and we saved your ass, helped you to survive. You heard about this amazing new land, but on this amazing new land, it's these savages. We ain't going around killing not nobody, minding our businesses in our village. Y'all committing mass murders, massacres, raping our women, murdering our young men for the hell of it. But we the savages. It says, for their victory over the heathen savages. Read.
Yeah, they're even the friendly. Yeah, excuse me. Even the friendly Wampanoag.
Hold on, because you missed a sentence. It says, during the feast, they hacked off heads of Native Americans and kicked through the streets like soccer balls.
Yes. They did hack off the heads of our people and kick them like soccer balls in the streets. Even the friendly Wampanoag did not escape the madness. Their chief was beheaded, and his head impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 years.
24 years. They kept that up as a token, as a memorial. Look what we did to the Wampanoag leader. Again, we did nothing. And what's so crazy is you can find so many more accounts of this in this book called The Devastation of the Indies. This was not out of the norm. And this is years later, centuries later. It's like 200, 300 years later, they still doing this. Them devils was doing the exact same thing. Only difference was in this time, it didn't really express, they may have been for the same reason, but they didn't express the reasoning behind it. See, in the time of the devastation, you can bring it back to us for a minute, Andrew. See, in the time of the devastations of the Indies, they were stealing all of our gold when they came over here. And our people were like, if you want some gold, cool, give it to you. Our people, we were generous. We didn't care, whatever. We had so much of it, it's like, you want it, take it. They said, no, we need it all. They killed us, they enslaved us, they worked us to death. Along with so-called Africans, African Americans, feeding our babies as gator bait and chopping our heads off. There's nothing new. They was doing the same thing to them. Cut their heads off, impaled them on poles, kicked them around the street like soccer balls. When you read about devastation of the Indies, they used to have competitions. Two different ones. One game that they used to play. Let's see which one of us can behead an Indian with one swing of the sword. That was a game they used to play. That was for sport. It was for fun. They used to literally cut open women, their stomach, take out their newborn child, and just toss them, just throw them around, launch them as far as they could, or behead them in their little heads and kick it around like a soccer ball. These dudes were wicked as hell. And people feel like we're racist because we say, when you look at the history, when you look at the track record, and we sit here confidently with our chest out and say the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, we catch all type of flack for it. Oh, not every white person. Okay, but the majority. The ones that rule this world right now. The ones that were here just a few hundred years ago. Shoot, the ones that were here just a few decades ago. It's nothing new. They've been doing this. And don't get it twisted. A lot of them still are racist. It's just that we are, in a sense, have a little more liberty to fight back. Like, it ain't no, you going to jail for, or you automatically get the death penalty for beating up a white man, and there's nothing you can do about it. We have a little more liberty to fight back and say something back. And the fact that so many of us are deciding that we are going to say something back. That's the only difference right now. But same thing. A lot of them, especially the ones that are ruling class, they only like you if they could benefit from you. It's nothing new. But as you can see here, this was like daily terror to our people. They're going to pop up and burn down our village. They're going to pop up and rape our women. They're going to pop up and kill our men. They're going to pop up and kill our babies. And that's literally where the origin of Thanksgiving comes from. Take me back to the PowerPoint.
Just precepts and even some emphasis on some of the tactics that they used.
Okay, go ahead.
As far as just a scriptural precept, proving in scriptures, proving prophecy true, we have Deuteronomy 28, and I didn't even get the whole gist of it, but just verse 52, and it reads, "And he shall besiege thee," referring to, the Europeans, "he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trustest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all the land, which the Lord thy God hath given thee."
And the thing is, even you can literally read through all the curses and you can see that these Native Americans endured the same thing. Cursed shall thou be in the city, cursed shall thou be in the field. Thy life shall hang in the balance. What's going on, Elder? You have one?
Yeah, you can start reading verse 49 and 50 also.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, 49.
Where it explains actually, how wicked they really were.
Yeah.
Show no mercy to our people, to the young or to the old.
Yep. Read 49 and 50.
49, "The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth."
So people are like, see, that's the white man, and he came from the other side of the world to enslave us from the western part. They did the same thing to the Native Americans. Because here's the thing, and this pisses off a lot of Hispanics that don't know their history. Native Americans, Hispanics. The only difference is, or the major difference is, the ones who conquered them. Spaniards conquered from Mexico and below. English conquered from Texas or Mexico and above. Only difference. Aside from that, prior to Mexico being separated from Salvador, being separated from Guatemala, being separated from freaking Wyoming and Colorado, that was all the Incan Empire. They were all one people. Aztecs, I believe, were a little further south. That was one whole group. So when people say, I'm not Salvi, yes, you are. You absolutely are. Because before you were Mexican, Salvi, and Guatemalan, and what else is down there toward the Paraguay, Uruguay. Before all of those places, you were Incan. All the same people. It's a dumb argument to make. So the only difference was who came and conquered you, who came and raped you, who came and beat you, who came and enslaved you and worked you to death, who came and cut off your heads. That's the only difference. But it says a nation will come from afar. Well, guess what? These Native Americans didn't know what the hell an Englishman was. The Hispanics, the Latinos below the border didn't know what the hell a Spaniard was. The other side of the earth. As swift as the eagle flies. Read.
"A nation of fierce countenance."
Same thing. Go and read these books and see how fierce they were. See how heartless these people were. Read.
"Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young."
We're going to kill you all the same. We're going to work you all the same. We're going to enslave you all the same. That's exactly what they did. And the ones that they couldn't find use in, they killed them, got rid of them, whatever. Read.
51, "And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land, until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee."
Again, that's clear. If you go and just look at the history of the Native Americans, that clearly happened to them. The Hispanics too, and I keep grouping them together, but in today's time, there's a separation. But the so-called Native Americans, so-called Latinos, that's clearly their history. That's clearly what went on. That's clearly what happened to them. But again, this was nothing new. It's just later on down the line, we said, hey, some genius decided, hey, let's make a holiday out of this.
Emphasis emphasis on that. A quick emphasis even on that point too. Both relevant to back then and today. I mean, part of the reasons why in the article that was brought out, it said that other tribes were with some of these Europeans to help, enforce these raids and these slave tradings and kill and murderings, pretty much essentially what it leads to, and that's due to the divide and conquer tactic that Esau knowingly uses on our people. I have a book right here. I'm not going to pretty much reference, but it's called The Indian Slave Trade in the Southwest. It's, there's lieutenants and colonels that's, by verbatim of their own words, say that they use these tactics, and they used some of the already intertribal warfare that existed before the Europeans came, and they just fueled the flame further, by giving them gifts, new weapons, technology, food, all that. So flip that now to today, Latinos and Native Americans, that division, the same thing happens in your, in the police force, it's just whoever they can, it's whoever Esau can, tip over and pay off better to divide you of the same people, Latinos and natives.
To their advantage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's historical.
There's nothing new. They've literally done the same thing. Go ahead, Elder.
That's the same tactics they use with the Inca Empire. Same type of tactics they used over there.
That's the same tactics they use with the Incan Empire. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like it's kind of sidebar, but it just blows my mind when you hear individuals talking about, oh, they not our people, they not Israel, they don't go through these curses, they never been through this, and I'm like, what the hell have you been reading? What history have you actually? What research have you actually done? Clearly, you've done little to none. But take us back to the laptop again, please. We can start reading from the top.
Right. The killings became more and more frenzied.
So it was even more frequent. They was having a ball. They said, "Damn, I'm getting a rush from this. Let's do more." Read.
With days of Thanksgiving feasts being held after each successful massacre.
So they said, "Well, hell." So Thanksgiving wasn't just a day. It was every time they went ahead and committed a massacre. They said, okay, it's time for us to feast. Okay, let's go kill another group. Okay, it's time for us to feast. Read on.
George Washington finally...
That bastard, I guess, well, we won't get into the history of him, but that devil. Read on.
Finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside instead of celebrating each and every massacre. Later, Abraham Lincoln decreed Thanksgiving Day to be a legal national holiday during the Civil War.
Ain't that crazy? To hell with these natives. These ain't people. Goddamn Indians. They ain't nothing but savages. Says they created a holiday, and then it was officiated. Abraham Lincoln made it a legal, an official national holiday. Called it Thanksgiving. Wasn't nothing given to these men. They took, they murdered, and they robbed. But it says we're going to make this a national holiday. Why not? Read on.
Abraham Lincoln decreed Thanksgiving Day to be a legal national holiday during the Civil War. On the same day, he ordered troops to march against the starving Sioux in Minnesota.
The
Sioux.
Read on.
This story doesn't have quite the same fuzzy feelings associated with it as the one where the Indians and the Pilgrims are still all sitting down together at the big feast. But we need to learn our true history so it won't ever be repeated. Next Thanksgiving, when you gather with your loved ones to thank God for all your blessings, think about those people who only wanted to live their lives and raise their families. They also took time out to say thank you to the Creator for all their blessings.
So, I wanted to just get the short article. You can bring it back to us. Go to Habakkuk chapter 2. Chapter 2 and verse 12. So we see the history, and when talking to people, I speak to them in this reference, especially as it pertains to Thanksgiving. Well, that's not what we celebrate it for. We just give thanks. I know that's the origins of it, but that's not what we don't celebrate that. We don't approve of that. You absolutely do. I ask people this all the time. I make it real simple. Make it real simple. Imagine Yatzazar, perfect example. Yatzazar. Imagine you got a group of people that decide, I don't like that nigga Yatzazar. Or I do like him. I like the things that he has. I'm going to go kill his family. I'm going to enslave him. I'm going to take everything that he has. And then, I'm not going to kill his whole family, though. I'm going to kill, like, his immediate family and kill some people that's close to him, whatever. Enslave him, beat him, rape those that are close to him. All of that, right? But then, you got grandkids or children or whatever. I want to invite them. I'm going to invite them to a feast, a party, celebrating all the things that I did to you. But I'm going to call it the Day of Gratitude, the Grateful Day. But its foundation was the fact that we decided we're going to kill you and your family. We're going to rape your family. As a descendant, I would feel that that's a slap in my face. And that's the thing, when you put it into perspective, because that's the thing, a lot of people don't put things into perspective. Anyone at home right now, just imagine that some people came and they raped, robbed, and pillaged your granny, your great aunties, your great aunties, your great uncles got murdered for no other reason than just being there. And they said, hey, we're going to make a day. We're going to make a holiday. We're going to have a big gathering. It's going to be off the chain. It's all founded on the fact that we killed all their asses. But yeah, it is what it is. But look, this is what we're going to do, though. Give it a twist. We'll call it the Day of Gratitude, the Day of Greatness. Because we are so gracious and we have so much gratitude that we were able to kill them and take everything from them. So let's have a party for it. How would you feel about that?
Our people always say, like, that was a long time ago.
That's their argument. That was a long time ago. That's not what we think about it now. But it's it's still the foundation. To this day, let somebody have and this is where you really got to put things into perspective. Let someone have a feast day on the Jewish Holocaust. But they call it Happy Day. It's a day of happiness. You know how many Jews would be offended? And do you know how that would be frontline on every damn thing? But let it be a Native American, let it be a nigga. Let it be a Mexican. So what? Who cares? What you tripping off of? That was years ago. That was decades ago. You guys,
What they don't realize is the spirit, it's the air, it's the breath of the holiday. You know, that's an eternal thing. But
absolutely,
our people lack that type of vision apparently. But it is the spirit of it.
Oh, we're very short-sighted. And the reason for that is because we've been conditioned to be short-sighted. Even to this day, when you see brothers, our brothers, Native Americans, so-called Latinos, so-called African Americans, when they take a stand and they puff their chest out and say, this is wrong, this is wicked, this ain't supposed to be happening, we're immediately met. Y'all a hate group. Oh, y'all hate. Oh, y'all racist. Cold part is we such a hate group, domestic terrorists, and some more stuff. We ain't killed not one soul. We ain't robbed and pillaged not one group of people. But yet we're all of these things. Literally, we teach black and brown empowerment, black and brown upliftment, black and brown readiness toward your enemies. Because even the ones that are blind and don't see it, yes, we absolutely have enemies. It's not a game. There's this thing called a race war. And it ain't far away. Not at all. But people, perfect example, Malcolm X. He never spoke against, or spoke about, rather, engaging in inflicting harm to anyone. But he was like villainized for the longest. And so many times his message and his words were contorted. And he said, I never said that. Those weren't my words. These were my words. And in context, this is what it meant. But he was made out to be a monster. But the man who was soothing everybody and singing them damn lullabies of we gonna be all right was looked at as the leader, the mogul that we should look up to. Because he's teaching you to be docile, teaching you to turn the other cheek. Miscomprehending scriptures. But in his mind, we have to be peace. We have to be love. No. That ain't how it works. So they look at us, same thing. You got the majority of the world, they're being programmed by television. It's literally called television programming. It's to program you. And we're being programmed and conditioned to be docile, to forgive every slap in the face, to forgive every spit in the face. You overcome that hate with love. I don't really see that working. We tried that. We tried that for centuries. One thing I have seen, a bully ain't gonna stop bullying you because you give him a hug, because you begging him to stop. You know what will make a bully stop bullying you? Beat his ass. Stand up to him and show him you ain't no punk. And even if you don't beat him up, but you give him a run for his money, he gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna leave him alone, because clearly he ain't having it no more. Same thing. But we're taught, oh no, you overconquer it. You overcome it with love. That ain't it. You got that though in Habakkuk?
Yeah.
Give me that 2 and 12.
Habakkuk 2 and 12. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood.
Read.
And establish a city by iniquity.
It says, woe, destruction. There is a special place in hell for people like you that are building towns with bloodshed. This whole nation was conquered through slavery, bloodshed, massacre, raping, robbing, pillaging, all forms of iniquity. Big one being bloodshed. Literally worked Native Americans to death. Incans, Aztecs, Mayans worked literally to death. Died on the job. Beat to death. Beheaded, kicked their head around for fun, scalping them for the hell of it, skinning them alive, burning them, boiling them, because it was fun. Hanging our people, hanging Native Americans too, Natives and Hispanics, hanging them, having picnics for it. It's like a public event. It's like going to a concert. Look, we hanging a nigga today. Look, we hanging a spick today. Look, we're hanging an Indian today. Taking your kids to it. Look at it. Just look at it dangle. Look at his eyes roll back as life leaves from him. Thanksgiving, everybody. Let's give thanks. That's what the Most High said. Oh, I got a special whooping for y'all. There's a special place in the lake for y'all. That's what the scriptures say. Yahweh Shai said, I'm finna pull up on Basra on my dolo. He said, I'm finna go in there and tear him up. I need all of that work. This ain't no game. But we so lost. It's like, it's a long time ago. It don't matter. It doesn't matter. It still holds the same symbol, the same symbolism. You can't sit up here and scream, F Christopher Columbus, and we need equality, and we all should be equal, and no one's better than the other. And then you're literally celebrating a day where some bastards thought that these people's life were moot. It meant nothing. They murdered them for fun and had a holiday for it. Had feasts, had parties for it. It's called an oxymoron. It's called cognitive dissonance, where your thought process is not matching up with the actions that you're doing. We got to stop being fake woke. If you're going to say to hell with inequality, racial injustice, Christopher Columbus, because everybody was like, F Christopher Columbus Day, but this ain't nothing but his hood. It's like, okay, Christopher Columbus was the leader, but now the rest of the hood was Thanksgiving. So we ain't celebrate what Christopher Columbus did on his own, with his folks. But when we think of Thanksgiving, which is pretty much Christopher Columbus' little homies, the rest of them thugs, that's okay. That's crazy. That's asinine to me. That's amazing. But the scriptures say, woe unto them. Woe, destruction. There's something coming for y'all. Let's go to Sirach. And this is something that we should have learned. Very upsetting, but it's something that we should have learned. I want verse 10 first. Verse 10, and then we're going to jump up to verse 1. Sirach 12, verse 10.
12, verse
10.
Yeah. Sirach chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy.
One more time.
Never trust thine enemy.
Said, don't ever trust your enemies. Never. And that's where we screwed up. Even in the scriptures, we saw that over and over and over. We trusted our enemies, and they had us looking stupid over and over and over. In more recent history, Native Americans. If we just peaceful with them, they'll be peaceful with us. No. Oh, they made promises and they broke it. Okay, but they made another one and they broke it again. Every single one. So you can't trust these bastards. You can't trust your enemies. Read on.
For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
It says, just as sure as iron can rust, it's just as sure as your enemy is wicked as hell. Ain't nothing changed. So best believe that the enemy to the righteous is going to be wicked. Period. Point blank. Never trust them devils. Ever. But we don't take scriptural wisdom, and we end up in situations like these. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Jump up to verse 1 and then drop down to verse 5.
When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it.
You wanted to save these devils, just like our people want to save them today. What about the white man? Not all of them are bad. It says when you're doing good for someone, when you're looking out for someone, when you're helping someone, just like in this time when we help these devils survive. And they called all they thank us, they called their homies over here. And we ended up being massacred. It says, when you do good, know who it is you're doing good to. Read.
So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits.
If it's someone righteous, if you know who you did it for, if you know what you're getting yourself into, and you make the right decision, it said you'll be thanked for that. Drop down to verse 5.
Do well unto him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly.
You don't give to the ungodly, or else what?
Hold back thy bread and give it not to him.
It says, even if he's hungry, let him starve. You don't help them, right? Why though? Read.
Lest he overmaster
Lest
thee.
he take advantage of you. Read.
Thereby.
Mm-hmm.
For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil.
Wait. Lest thou do what?
For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil.
So you out there helping, looking out to a wicked individual. And he takes advantage of you. And he repays you how much?
Twice as much evil.
Twice as much evil. We help them to survive. How do they repay us? They kill us. They rob us. They torture us. Not only do they kill us, they make a game out of it. Hell, why not? They finna die anyways. Hey, watch this, watch this. You want to see? That's your Indian. Hold on, let's see. We gotta make sure their neck is the same length though. Ain't no cheating. Okay. All right. This is what we gonna do. New game. Winner gets, I don't know, the little boy over there, because you know they were into that gay stuff. Winner gets the little boy over there and some drink. We gonna swing our sword as hard as we can. And let's see who can behead these Indians, with one swing. Winner gets that. They turn it into a game. All right, their head is off. Hey, let's kick it around. Let's see how far we can kick it. Let's turn it into a sport. They repaid you twice as much evil for your righteous deed and helping them to survive. Because our people, even to this day, ain't nothing changed. Our people are the exact same. We're giving people, except to our own, ironically, we treat ourselves like we ain't nothing. But to the other nations, boy, we'll lick the dust off their feet. We'll lick the crumb between their toes. We'll give our last to them. Not to our own, though. Back then, it was the same thing. We'll give you our last. We'll give you whatever you need, whatever you want. That's why the scripture say you need to know who you're doing good to. Otherwise, this wicked individual is going to take advantage of you and then pay you twice as much evil for the good that you gave them. That's Thanksgiving. And that's why the name of the lesson is Thanks for Nothing. It's a Thanksgiving for the enemy. Thank you for giving us your life and your little girls and your little boys and your gold and your land. Thank you for giving that to us. I don't think they really understand the definition of what giving something is. Absolutely, they'll tell you that to your face. Yeah. Yeah, the Most High did say, I'm gonna slap you on the face with a strong delusion. You absolutely right. And now look at us. Like literally, what's so crazy is you talk to people today, even our people. And my coworker, perfect example. He said it was something funny. It wasn't funny, but it was, but it wasn't. It was sad, but it was like, damn, that's crazy. He does know. He said, we're going to, he said, you have a good, what did he say? You have a good day honoring the murder and massacre of our people. That's what he said, like, just regular. And he's going to be celebrating Thanksgiving tomorrow. He said it himself. So it's like, it's a joke. It's light. It's like, whatever. But let us do something like that to commemorate the Holocaust, for example. Oh, Jesus. You can't even speak bad. You can't even say nothing bad about the Holocaust right now. You think they're going to let you make a holiday based on it? But that just shows you what they think about us. The fact that they can get away with this, that just shows you what they think about us. They ain't going to do nothing about it, so what? It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. So again, you devils, thanks for nothing. We ain't give you anything. Thanks for robbing us. Thanks for raping our women, our young boys. Thanks for killing our men. Thanks for using our own people to help you. Thanks for stealing everything we have. Thanks for stealing our lands. Thanks for putting us on drugs. Thank you, devil. But let's see how many of our people tomorrow still going to be gathered together, still be holding hands and praying over that ham that they shouldn't even be eating. Still going to be saying, but we do it for the kids. Still going to be saying, well, that's what it was before. That's not what it is anymore. That's not what we keep it for. See how many of our people still going to do that? Did you have anything in mind?
Just concerning the fact of that it's a whole lie. Precept, Revelation 22:15, concerning the kingdom of heaven on earth. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters, and the kicker, and whosoever loveth and
Hold on. Slow down. Say whosoever loveth. How many of our people love these damn lies? We're not gonna get into like Thanksgiving and all. Christmas and all of that. But Thanksgiving alone, they still love this day. It's the time, Big Mama come down. She gonna cook. Auntie Kim, Auntie Pam. Ray and them gonna be there. It's just thankful for family. No, you come up with a new day then. Y'all can come together. Usually, if you get Thursday off, you got Friday off too. So if y'all want to come together on Friday. And it ain't got to be for Thanksgiving. If you really just want to see family. It says, whosoever loves lies and makes lies. Read.
whosoever loveth and maketh a lie.
You ain't going to get the kingdom. You can't be Christian and celebrate Thanksgiving. Quote unquote Christian. You can't believe in these scriptures, can't believe in the Most High and celebrate Thanksgiving. You can't. It's an oxymoron. Because you're literally going against the book that you say you believe in. You can't. Did you have anything else?
No.
Okay. So, like I said, it wasn't going to be a super long lesson. Just wanted to get through it, give y'all some history. Most High willing to feed y'all spirit, and it convicts you to not keep this. All praise to the Most High. It was like one or two people that reached out and said they just learned about the history of it, and because of that, they're not celebrating it. I'm like, all praise to the Most High. It's a start. It's a start. Because the issue comes in where a lot of our people are just ignorant. They don't know. But then they start to find out. Some of them say, okay, that makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and stop this or start this. And then some people are just like, well, that's what we've been doing, so that's what we're going to keep doing. And those are the people that the Most High is going to have some words with them. Some words. So it's not a game. You read these scriptures, you see the prophecies unfolding. You see the book to be true. Everything you read, everything in it. And you still can't get right. Most High, man. Yeah, we got to get right before it's too late. We got to get right before it's too late. But with that, that's ultimately what's going on. Doc?
Can you listen?
Yeah.
Can we just bring one out? Isaiah 14:21 out?
Isaiah 14. Yeah. Go get that. Well, I forgot about that. Is that 14? I thought it was 15. Yeah, let's go to Isaiah 14:21. Isaiah 14:21. Let's get one more.
Isaiah 14:21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
We don't need no more than bastards. The scripture says, prepare slaughter for the wicked. And guess who that wicked is right now? The man that everybody wants to save. And it's crazy because he's literally fooled the world into believing that people that look like me, people that look like him, people that look like the elder right here, blacks, natives, and Hispanics. We the thugs. We the terrorists. We the killers. He's literally convinced the world that we are, with his whole damn track record. This man got a higher body count than every other nation of people combined. But he's convinced everyone that he's the angel and we're the devil. Most High said, we're going to prepare slaughter for that ass. We got something for you. And all praise to the Most High for it. But like I said, with that, it was just a brief history on the origins of Thanksgiving. And Lord willing, it gave you some conviction to not want to partake in that wickedness. Because again, I look at it like, what if it was you? Some of it is. Some of the people, it is you. It's your forefathers. It's literally like your great granny or great great granny. It's not that far removed. But Lord willing, there was some edification, and it's placed on your spirit to not want to partake in such a detrimental festival that there's nothing positive about it. You know, you not partake in a festival that's literally about stealing, killing, raping, pillaging, massacring a people. And with that, continue to share these videos as we continue to try to edify the nation, edify the people. Like our page, True Nation Israelite Congregation on Facebook. Like the videos and subscribe to our YouTube, True Nation Israelite Congregation. As we continue to put forth these lessons, edify the people, feed the sheep, that we can keep waking them up. Grow closer to the Most High, get stronger in these laws, and ultimately just continue to wake up our people so we can get up out this hell. That way we don't have to teach these lessons anymore. We won't have to worry about it. We only gonna be keeping Passovers and dedications and Nicanors and tabernacles and first fruits. We got to worry about all this wickedness. So, Lord willing, of some edification. With that, again, I'm your brother Darash. I'm your teacher, brother Darash, and brother Aman, and we signing out. Shalom.